The stars outside Earth's orbit shimmered, silent witnesses to betrayal. Across the galaxy, billions of screens flickered on. The Zoltrax Dominion's broadcast began. Their sleek flagship hung in orbit over a simulated Earth, surrounded by falsified battle wreckage. A deep, guttural voice echoed in a dozen languages. Earth has fallen. The camera panned over the fabricated scene, Zoltrax banners planted in scorched soil, charred helmets scattered across fake terrain, and a human general kneeling in surrender. It was digital theater, meticulously forged. Convincing. And it was a lie. In Earth's actual orbit, buried within the reinforced command deck of the Aegis, Commander Rhea Morgan stared at the broadcast in silence. Her jaw clenched. Behind her, tension thickened in the war room. No one spoke. The lie was spreading fast. Lieutenant Vex, her comms officer, turned with a pale face. "It's everywhere, Commander. Coalition sectors are reposting it as verified footage. Some allies have gone dark. It's working." Rhea didn't respond right away. She studied the hologram playing overhead, her own face, doctored into a surrender position. Her lips moved in sync with falsified words. "We surrender to the Dominion," it said. "Pause that," she said quietly. The image froze mid-sentence. She walked up to it, eyeing her likeness. "That's not my face. That's a mask." Her voice was steady, but fury simmered underneath. The Zoltrax had pulled a masterstroke, psychological warfare at its sharpest. Not through force, but optics. Perception. And perception shaped allegiance. "Casualty reports?" she asked. "Minimal," Vex replied. "We lost 2 satellites in Sector 9. The rest of the fleet's intact." So the Dominion hadn't attacked. They didn't need to. The broadcast was the strike. General Sandor, patched in from New Geneva HQ, appeared on the side screen. "Morgan, we need a statement. Now. If we don't refute this, we'll lose what support we have left." She shook her head. "A statement won't matter. No one trusts words anymore." "Then what do you propose?" he asked. "We don't release a statement," she said. "We show them the truth. Live. Raw. Unfiltered." The general frowned. "We don't have the uplink capacity for galactic reach. The Dominion controls the major relay channels. We still have black signal," she said. Gasps. One officer dropped his pen. "Black signal is unstable. That tech hasn't been used since the Martian Rebellion," Vex said, disbelief in his voice. Rhea's eyes were fixed on the frozen screen. "It overrides all Dominion-controlled frequencies. The signal can't be jammed. Not easily." General Sandor's voice dropped to a growl. "It could crash half the orbital grid. It might. But if we do nothing, Earth becomes the galaxy's pariah, a conquered world no one wants to be seen supporting." Sandor went silent. Then nodded once. "Your call, Commander. But if this backfires, you'll answer for it." "I already planned to," she said. She turned to Vex. "Prep the signal array. I want the Dominion's own networks used. Let their people see what their empire lies about." "Yes, ma'am." The crew scrambled. Rhea stood still, staring through the screen. In the silence, her thoughts ran ahead of the plan. This was bigger than Earth. The galaxy watched and judged based on curated images. The truth had become negotiable, an accessory of power. They needed to shatter that illusion. Not with another speech. With reality. 15 minutes later, Earthcom's sealed control room buzzed with quiet intensity. A low hum filled the air, the signal warming up. Lights dimmed to red. "Signal armatures aligned," Vex reported. "We're tethered to 6 relay nodes, all under Dominion infrastructure. If this works..." "It will," Rhea cut in. "Patch me in." She stepped into the signal frame, a semi-transparent booth surrounded by high-grade shielding. Cameras calibrated to capture every micro-expression. Behind her, real footage played, Earth cities bustling with life, resistance fighters arming themselves, children practicing evacuation drills. Real people. No edits. No effects. 5 seconds to broadcast. She inhaled once, steady. The screen lit up. Rhea looked straight into a galaxy of eyes. My name is Commander Rhea Morgan of Earth's Defense Command. If you're seeing this, you've also seen the lie. Behind her, the falsified footage began rolling again, side by side with Earth's actual orbital data. Unedited, time-stamped, undeniable. The Zoltrax Dominion claimed we surrendered. That I surrendered. But Earth stands. We never knelt. And we never will. She paused, letting the weight sink in. You want to know the truth? Here it is. Watch us. In real time. The stream shifted again, to ground-level camera feeds from Earth's front lines. Soldiers holding the line in Arctic storms. Civilians rebuilding supply lines. Fighter jets streaking across the Pacific defense grid. You've seen their story, she said. Now you're watching ours. In the Dominion's War Council chamber, High Warlord Zarnak slammed a fist on the control console. His officers scrambled to kill the signal, but it was already everywhere. The black signal had embedded into civilian and military feeds alike. The Empire's perfect narrative was collapsing, not through battle, but by exposure. Back aboard the Aegis, the signal stabilized. Rhea stepped out of the booth. Her crew watched in stunned silence as real-time viewer numbers climbed into the billions. You just picked a fight with an Empire's illusion, Vex whispered. Rhea's expression was unreadable. No. I lit a torch in a hall of mirrors. Let's see who comes looking. The screen behind her glowed not with defiant surrender, but with. The Erebus was quiet, too quiet. Deep within its sound-dampened corridors, Commander Rhea Morgan stared at the terminal projecting a rotating schematic of the Dominion's broadcast nexus. Her face was a stone mask, eyes locked on the cluster of satellites they had to reach. Do we know how they faked my voice? She asked. Vex, hunched over a data spike across from her, didn't look up. AI synthesis, most likely. Pulled from open-frequency comms. The Dominion spies have been harvesting our voices for years. Yours just happened to be the symbol they wanted. Rhea crossed her arms. That means they've been planning this for a while. Probably since the Lasara Accords failed, he said. We turned down their treaty. They couldn't beat us in open war, so they tried theater. Rhea exhaled through her nose, slow and controlled. And now it's our turn. The Erebus, a retrofitted civilian courier ship, wasn't built for infiltration. That made it perfect. The Zoltrax would never suspect an unarmed hauler heading toward their communication array. They'd only get one shot. After the black signal went live, the Dominion would retaliate. Fast. She turned to the crew. ETA to the Nexus? 17 minutes, Pilot Kira replied. We'll hit shadow orbit behind their signal tower. From there, it's manual insertion. Manual. No auto-docking. No assistance. Rhea liked it that way, clean, quiet, controlled. A soft chime pulsed. Encrypted channel. Sandor. She took the call. The general's face appeared, lined with fatigue and barely concealed dread. They're scrambling damage control, he said. Dominion state media is labeling the signal a human virus. Some species are blocking it. But it's spreading faster than they can contain it. Then we go further, Rhea replied. We're headed for their main relay point. He hesitated. That's coalition territory. Technically neutral. There's no neutral left, she said. If they allowed that broadcast to originate from their towers, they're complicit. His voice lowered. This could spark full-scale war. It already has, she said, ending the call. Flashback, 6 months earlier. Aboard the Dominion's flagship Fury of Ash, High Warlord Zarnak paced before a war table glowing with Earth's orbital patterns. We can't defeat them outright, his strategist warned. They're too erratic. They defy standard pressure logic. Zarnak snarled. Then we turn the galaxy against them. Make them seem weak. Dishonored. If no one trusts them, they die by isolation. And so, the plan was born, to create a broadcast that broke Earth without a single shot. Back in the Erebus, the ship trembled as it dropped from slip space. "There she is," Kira muttered. The broadcast nexus came into view, a lattice of towers and dish arrays webbed in gold and obsidian, floating above the dead moon of Azrael. "Approach vector confirmed," Vex said. "No hails. No scans. Just like we want it," Rhea replied. "Kira, bring us in low. Burn cold." The Erebus slid behind the array, cloaked by Azrael's shadow. Manual thrusters hissed as Kira guided it into a soft glide path. The moment the magnetic lock clamped onto the tower's maintenance ring, Rhea moved. The team, Rhea, Vex, and a systems tech named Solon, slipped into the array's maintenance shaft. The tower groaned around them, alive with Dominion data traffic. "Remember," Rhea whispered, "this isn't sabotage. We're not here to blow anything up. We're here to make sure the truth burns brighter than their lies." They crawled into the comms spine, a narrow corridor lined with fiber conduits. The air was dry, humming with signal pulses. "Main node ahead," Solon said. "We spliced the black signal here. I'll need 3 minutes." "You'll get 2," Rhea said. Suddenly, a click. The low shuffle of armored boots echoed down the shaft. Dominion guards. "Vex, cover left. Solon, go." Rhea pressed her back to the curved wall. The guards were closing fast. Their eyes glowed faintly under black helmets. Rhea didn't hesitate. As one passed, she lunged, a silent strike, blade to throat, no sound. The second guard spun but found her sidearm faster. A sharp pulse. Silence returned. "Timer check," she snapped. 59 seconds, Solon called. Vex wiped his hands. "Still prefer desk jobs." The system lit green. "It's live," Solon breathed. "Signal embedded. We can push any stream into their core broadcast net. Global override is ready. Then we feed them everything," Rhea said. On Dominion homeworlds, viewers froze as a second wave of human footage burst through, not just military defiance now, but survivors. A young girl pulling her brother from rubble, engineers rebuilding power grids, a grandmother knitting inside a bunker. Not propaganda. Reality. And then came the pivot. A feed from the Dominion itself, smuggled footage of their own propaganda rooms, edited takes, rehearsed executions, digital overlays exposed line by line. The Dominion's veil unraveled. Back at the array, alarms screamed. "They know we're here," Vex said. "We need to go. Now." Rhea stared at the growing data stream. "Not yet. This needs to finish cycling." More guards. This time heavier. She turned to Solon. "Backtrack. Get to the Erebus. Vex with him." Vex hesitated. "You're not coming?" "I'll finish the upload. I'll find another way out." He didn't argue. Not because he agreed, but because they both knew she wouldn't move. As Vex and Solon vanished into the crawl shaft, Rhea reached into her jacket, pulling a secondary spike, one designed not for upload, but duplication. She whispered, "In case they cut the line." With the spike embedded, the tower's systems copied the footage across 5 adjacent Dominion-controlled networks. Even if they deleted the source, the message would keep pulsing. She holstered her weapon and looked out the narrow viewing port. The galaxy was changing, one feed at a time. Her wrist beacon blinked once. Then again. A third time. The Erebus had launched. They were safe. She smiled faintly, despite the alarms. "Now they'll see us. All of us." A crimson sun broke the horizon as the Erebus re-entered Earth's orbit, cloaked by magnetic scatter. Commander Rhea Morgan wasn't aboard. The crew knew, but no one said it aloud. Vex sat stiffly in the forward bay, blood drying on his collar. His fingers clutched the signal tablet, its screen pulsing with a flickering icon, live feed, active. "She's still transmitting," he said, voice low. "She's alive." Kira nodded once, eyes locked on the control panel. For now. The truth, now unshackled, had begun to crawl through every Dominion system. Civilian screens, military terminals, interstellar media hubs, none were spared. The world wasn't watching anymore. The world had turned. Earth, Southern Coalition Defense Front, New Nairobi Perimeter. Corporal Dane Ayres adjusted his exosuit's power core as enemy plasma lit the skyline. Smoke rose in skeletal columns. The Zoltrax had launched a local offensive the moment the false surrender broadcast aired. They expected Earth to fold. They didn't expect Earth to answer with fire. "Eyes up!" Lieutenant Shaw shouted, gesturing to the hills. "New contacts!" The squad moved fast, their training instinctive. Ayres raised his visor and caught the signal flash in the sky. Not enemy fire, something else. A broadcast drone. It hovered, then pinged their helmet comms. "Live uplink enabled. Galactic transmission active. Is this real?" a private asked. Shaw turned. "Keep your head down and let the galaxy see what resistance looks like." Ayres grinned beneath his breath mask. Showtime. The drone fed the frontline combat directly into the network Rhea had hijacked. Not edited. Not delayed. Real war. Real humans. Bloody, battered, alive. Orbit, broadcast relay node, Sector 8. Rhea crouched behind a scorched bulkhead, breathing hard. Her pistol was near drained, and Dominion troops swarmed the outer decks. The node's servers glowed behind her, humming with active data flow. She checked the uplink, still strong. The spikes had copied the feed to 3 adjacent satellites. She wasn't escaping this place. But she could hold it. Her comm buzzed. "Rhea, it's Vex. The Erebus is safe. Earth's feeds are live across 6 systems. You did it." She allowed herself a small exhale. "Don't stop streaming. If I go dark, you keep feeding them truth until it buries every lie." "Understood." Footsteps. Heavy. Getting closer. Rhea crouched low, pulled her knife, and faded into the server shadow. Dominion Core Systems, Media Control Nexus. High Warlord Zarnak slammed his clawed fist into the obsidian console, shattering its surface. "This isn't a feed," he roared. "It's a plague. Shut it down!" His advisors scrambled. One, trembling, muttered, "We can't. Their code mimics our own command signatures. It's spreading by consent." "Consent? Some citizens are rebroadcasting it, voluntarily. They're curious. Curious. About humans. About weakness that wasn't weakness at all." Zarnak snarled. "Burn it out. I want every node housing this infection incinerated." Earth, global uprising. In a refugee camp outside Quito, a boy held a piece of scrap metal like a toy spaceship. Above him, a makeshift display showed Rhea's hack stream. The image jittered, then locked. A woman's voice spoke softly through the noise. "They told you we surrendered. They were wrong. You are not alone. You are not beaten. The galaxy sees you now." Nearby, his mother listened. And wept. In every corner of Earth, from the bunkers beneath Europa's ice domes to the deserts of Central Australia, the feed played. Not as propaganda, but as a pulse. Real, raw, alive. Orbit, final stand. The hatch blew open. Rhea spun and fired. 1. 2. The third Dominion soldier got too close. She dropped him with a slash, spinning into cover. The server core was behind her now, cables lit like veins. She couldn't let them touch it. Over comms, Vex's voice was faint. "Rhea, Dominion forces are pulling back in some sectors. Public unrest. Civil protests. Your signal's stirring chaos. I can't hold much longer," she muttered. "They're zeroing in." Silence. Then, "We're coming back." "No," she snapped. "You leave me. You hold the feed. That's the mission." Another blast shook the structure. Fire ripped through the upper struts. Rhea clutched her side, armor cracked, blood wetting her ribs. The server core blinked. Final backup complete. "That's it," she whispered. "That's all I needed." She dragged herself to the transmitter console, leaned in, and stared into the lens. To anyone still watching, we are not shadows in the dark. We are not myths or stories whispered by frightened invaders. We are human. We are here. And we're done kneeling. She tapped the emergency burst key, the last transmission override. Then she slumped back, the feed still glowing over her shoulder. Dominion Capital, hours later. Riots bloomed in the streets. Protesters, many non-human, chanted Earth slogans. Truth lives. Earth fights. We see you. The Empire had built its throne on fear. Rhea had shown them what defiance looked like. Unfiltered. Untamed. Zarnak watched his war council collapse into panic. For the first time, the Dominion faced something it couldn't outgun. Credibility. Earth, Command Deck Aegis. Vex stood alone before the master screen as the signal reached its final destination, the Coalition's core assembly. 10,000 systems. Every species. No edits. And there was Rhea, bruised, bleeding, refusing to be silenced. Her voice now a beacon woven into the stars. Kira stepped up beside him. We never even fired our biggest weapon. He turned to her. That was our biggest weapon. Would you like Chapter 4, the final chapter, next? The Dominion came fast. A black wave of assault craft broke through low orbit, headed for the relay station Rhea had seized. No diplomacy, no warnings. Just fire. Earth's signal had been too loud, too clear. It had punched through the veil, and now the Empire meant to rip it down, piece by piece. Inside the station's crumbling structure, Rhea Morgan forced herself to stand. Her body screamed. Her side was a ruin of scorched tissue and cracked armor, blood soaking through the fabric beneath her plating. But the transmission still flickered on the console. It was still live. The walls trembled. She could hear the whine of plasma drills cutting into the hull. She keyed into the relay's master channel. This is Commander Rhea Morgan. The signal tower is compromised. They're coming to silence it. A pause. Static. Then Vex's voice, calm but tight. The Erebus is rerouting its feed through 3 backup nodes. Earthcom is holding the stream from orbit. We don't need the tower anymore. Relief didn't come. Not yet. Then why are they still coming? She asked. Because they want you gone. There it was. Not the feed. Her. She'd become the face of defiance, living, bleeding proof of their lie. The last thing the Dominion wanted now was for her to survive. She reached for the sidearm on the console. Empty. She pulled the knife from her boot instead. Steel and defiance. That was enough. Earth orbit, Aegis command. Ma'am, they've breached the station, Kira reported. Vex stood behind her, watching the telemetry. Rhea's life sign tracker blinked faintly. Still alive. For now. We have to get her out, Kira said. She bought us time. We owe her more than a silent death. If we move the Erebus in, we expose the entire signal stream, Vex replied. She knew that. Kira's hands clenched. Then we're just going to sit here while she? No. We just don't go in the front. He turned to an auxiliary console. Get me orbital drone Delta 19. I want a direct path to the station's lower hatch. Silent approach. No weapon systems. Just speed. Relay station, lower subdeck. Rhea crouched behind the generator stack as boots hit metal down the hall. 3 Dominion troopers advanced in formation, sweeping methodically. Their armor shimmered with active pulse fields, eyes hidden behind blank visors. They didn't speak. They didn't have to. She moved when they were close. Quick, low, surgical. One fell to a neck strike, another to a blade between joints. The third spun, too late. Her breath came short. Her knees buckled as she dragged herself toward the access chute. Lights above flickered, then died. Then she heard it, a soft thunk from below. A hatch. Opening. Orbit, inbound extraction drone. Vex's voice crackled through her comm. Delta 19's at the base hatch. I couldn't send a team. But it'll fly you out if you make it. She didn't waste a second. Rhea slid down the chute, every joint howling. The drone's bay was open, small, barely big enough for one person. She collapsed into it. The hatch sealed with a hiss. A burst of acceleration hit her like a wall. Above, the Dominion's warship unleashed a final barrage. The tower split in two, erupting into flame and shrapnel. The screen flickered out. But the signal, now fully rerouted, didn't die. It leapt. Carried on by every satellite, every station, every citizen who hit. Rebroadcast. 3 days later, Coalition Core Assembly Ziria Prime. The chamber was full. 10,000 systems. Every representative. Every species. For years, Earth had been seen as loud, brash, primitive, too human. But the feed had shown them something else. Not just firepower, conviction. Blood-streaked faces holding the line. Engineers wiring power cells with trembling hands. A woman in a burning tower telling the galaxy she would not be erased. Now, they watched as Rhea Morgan stepped onto the floor. Alive. Limping. Wrapped in fresh bandages. But standing. Her voice, when it came, was steady. We were invaded. Lied about. Forgotten. Then we showed the truth. Not to prove we were strong. To prove we were real. She paused, scanning the silence. You all watched. You saw us. Now we ask, will you stand beside us? For a moment, no one moved. Then the Lyran ambassador stood. Others followed. One by one, systems long silent began to rise. The Dominion didn't just lose a tower. They lost the illusion of control. Later, New Geneva HQ. The sun rose quietly over Earth's horizon, light falling on the rebuilt command center. The war wasn't over. Not by a long shot. But the tide had turned. Rhea stood on the rooftop, watching the skies. Vex approached with 2 mugs of steam-hot synth brew. Didn't think you'd walk again, let alone stand here, he said, handing her one. Neither did I. She took a slow sip. Her ribs still ached. Her left arm barely worked. They'll come back, she said quietly. The Dominion doesn't forget humiliation. Then we'll remind them again. And again. As many times as it takes. She looked to the sky. Let them come. We're not hiding anymore. The screen behind her flickered. Another citizen uploaded stream playing on loop. This is Earth. We fight. We endure. And we remember.